So, welcome to the last video of Mpai 760 here at Georgetown University's Applied Intelligence. Welcome to the end of the course, and I just want to take a minute to just wrap this up and wish you best of luck in the future. So, I hope in this course you learn that terrorism, most importantly, isn't a recent phenomenon. That it has been going on for at least 100 years, much more further. If you grew up in the 2000s, you probably associate terrorism with ISIS and Al Qaeda and 9/11, but it's certainly been a tactic that's been around for well before that. So I hope you've taken that away from this course. I hope you've learned about some of the tactics terrorists use, how they've used media strategy to expand their influence. I hope you learned about counterterrorism policy, what works, what doesn't, why or why not. And we looked at the comparative perspective through Israel, Russia, and China. And I hope you can take those lessons learned as you apply them into U.S. counterterrorism policy. And then we wrap the course up with some of those controversial issues: drone targeting of U.S. citizens, wireless or warrantless wiretapping, and then enhanced interrogation techniques. Regardless of what position you take in those, I hope you at least can formulate an argument one way or another and counter the opposition's argument to whether you want to institute enhanced interrogation techniques or whether you want to expand our drone program. So I hope you at least got those nuggets. And the one thing I just want to leave you with is, all right, what now? What's the way ahead, which is part of your final? There's been a lot of, what would be the fifth wave out there? A lot of people have said a cyber wave, that the tools of cyber have been so brought down that anybody can launch terrorist attacks. I'm a little bit wary of this. Cyber tends to be in the domain of criminals and state-based organizations, and a terrorist group wants that explosion. They want those dead bodies to happen. So even though a cyber attack can be more destructive, it still lacks the headline driving event that an explosion or an assassination has. Others have said maybe we're going to go back to state sponsors of terrorism, that what you're seeing in Russia and the Ukraine and Iran and Pakistani groups, that's going to be the fifth wave. And I could certainly agree with that. We're returning back to big state powers, and it's certainly a fact that maybe the state-sponsored terrorism, or will return to a level of state-sponsored terrorism. The other option is eco-terrorism. And I kind of favor this, and you don't have to agree with me on this or any of my thoughts, but what if we see, again, the effects of water shortages and global warming drive terrorism, and arguably it's already driving violence in Syria and Yemen. And then what happens when, let's say you're in Niger and your village has been washed out because of global warming, and the Niger is not responsible for global warming. It's the big states, the United States, the European Union, that are causing this. And what happens if they engage in terrorism as a response to environmental issues perpetrated by other countries? That's certainly something we can see, or I can see anyway, happening in the future. So those are kind of the future forecasts there. And I just want to wrap up again with a personal note. As I mentioned earlier, if there's anything you need in the future, please don't hesitate to ask me. And we can talk about careers, we could talk about families, we could talk about, you just want to just grab a beer in the DC area, that's fine. I was going to hold a happy hour at the end of the summer, but I think a quick TDY has kind of precluded that. So I think I'll look out for a note for a happy hour or a get together with several classes from this program in the Christmas time frame, which will be a good time because I think some of you, if not all of you, will have completed at least the requirements for the program. And of course you won't be graduating until June, but at least you'll be done with the schoolwork. So with that being said, good luck on the final. I can't emphasize this enough. I can't give you extensions on the final because I have to get the grades in. There is no room for error on that. If there is a huge issue, let me know, but I'm not going to be too lenient with the final as I might have been in the past. So good luck with the final. Good luck with the last semester for most of you in this program. Excuse me. And I look forward to seeing you either in a professional or personal way.